Guys, I'm super excited to talk to you about something today that I'm obsessed with, and that is sunsets. I'm talking about capturing sunsets, more specifically with a drone. If you're into photography, travel, or video, you're definitely in the right place. So let's dive into how I captured this epic sunset shot with the DJI Mini 2. So I've only been flying a drone for about a month or two, and I'm getting the hang of it really fast. I've been obsessed with capturing sunsets lately.
I'm obsessed with it.
Let me tell you, the DJI Mini 2, it was the perfect choice. Price and the settings that it gave you were just perfect for a beginner. This thing was fantastic to use, especially in my latest trip in Scotland. I recently traveled there to capture some epic landscapes, some castles, and a ton of other stuff. That's definitely a video for another time. But my favorite by far was the sunset that I captured. Now I posted on social media and it's been getting a lot of traction lately, so that's what sparked me to make this video. So today I want to break down how I captured that viral shot and how you can create something similar. First, you're definitely going to need a drone. For me, like I said, Mini 2. Skip all the research. This is definitely the best for beginners. It's a lot simpler than you think to pull a shot off like this. All you really need to know is a basic understanding of shutter speed and ISO. So the first thing is you definitely want to choose a good location. When choosing a location, keep in mind how many people are there, what kind of scenery there is, mountains, buildings, etc. All those things are going to create a really nice foreground for your sunset. Sunset shots are a lot more in depth than just simply the sky. Your foreground subjects are really going to help you create that depth and that wow factor. As seen in the one here, I have a building and I also have a river. The river reflects the sunset, giving the sunset shot even more depth. So when you're looking at a location to film a sunset, definitely keep in mind those things. Also, it's really good if you're familiar with the location because you can know exactly what side the sun sets on. Before you even take off, the most important thing is knowing when your sunset happens. So usually what I do is I just Google sunset time today. Google will give it to you right away, whatever location you're in. And if you're doing a location that's maybe farther out, just search up sunset and then X location, and then plan to arrive about 30 minutes before that time that Google gives you. This will give you enough time to scout the area and get your drone up in the air before the sunset takes place. Look for interesting things that are happening, buildings, lakes, trees. Really focus on what could create the most interesting shot. When you're flying, just remember to switch it up, check some different angles, move back and forth, side to side, do a couple panning actions with the camera. Don't worry if you're not familiar with these things. Even just having a simple sunset shot where it's looking straight into the sun can still be great. Now, usually what I like to do is really focus on the movement, coming up from the ground, going all the way up, and kind of playing around with the speed a bit, how fast it goes up and down, just kind of understanding how it's going to play out before it happens. All right, so probably why a lot of you clicked on this video, my camera settings. And for any beginners, make sure you switch it to Pro mode, which is just at the bottom corner. This will allow you to adjust things like the shutter speed and the ISO, which are really important for this shot. For this drone, I usually go with 4K 30 frames per second. Always keep my ISO at 100 almost all the time, unless I'm shooting very late at night and I have to boost it up. Always keep your ISO at 100. Why I always keep my ISO at 100 is to avoid graininess and get the highest quality. When you up the ISO, it's adding grain, especially on a drone, so you want to keep that as low as possible. And then when it comes to the shutter speed, that is really where the magic is going to happen. But once you're filming the sunset, play around with the shutter speed. Move it up higher. Go from 60 to 250 to 500, all the way up to 1,000. I'm pretty sure, I think for this shot, I was almost at 1,000. Play with it and really get how dark you want the objects in the foreground to be. And ultimately, it's going to bring out those colors and it's really going to give you that depth and that warm feeling that you always get from a sunset. That's, I think, why I love this drone so much, is do very minimal movements with a high shutter speed and it will give you this cinematic look that you can play around with later on in an editing software. But whatever look you're going for, I think the most important thing is that the sun is clear. You don't want it overexposed. You don't want the camera to be overexposed by the sun. You want to capture that glowing ball. And if you're really lucky, you might get some purple and pink clouds like I did. And just for a quick comparison, this is a shot of me with a higher shutter speed, not really paying attention to the silhouettes and the colors. And then this is the shot that I ended up with a very high shutter speed, making sure that the sun is not being overexposed by the drone's camera. That's pretty much it. It's very simple. Just practice and practice and you'll get some amazing sunset shots. Really, sunset shots are all about changing up the location, really dialing in your settings and the timing of it all. It's really fun because switching the location can change it up dramatically. Whether it's a beach, a mountain range, these are all things you could play around with and get different locations, the different sunsets. You get sunsets that are more bright orange, you get sunsets that are more maybe pink. Just enjoy the process and really create something beautiful. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and also leave a comment if you have any questions about this process. I'll be happy to answer anything in the comments. Definitely subscribe for creative adventures, video and photography, and some more drone work. And I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, happy sunset chasing.